Good afternoon, everybody. My name is A Weapons, Mid-Lyfe Music. Shouts out to the almighty LDBC. Go to ldbcsports.com where you can register, make a profile, interact with the brothers and sisters of the LDBC. Also, go to trilltalk.net where you can actually hear boxing talk. You can hear social commentary, and you can also purchase merch, LDBC merch, at trilltalk.net. Lastly, go to my second home, which is ticketvmedia.com, where you can actually purchase A Weapons music, A Weapons merch, and Ticket TV merch, and LDBC merch. As well, you can register for the forum at trilltalk.net and at ticketvmedia.com. Excuse me, y'all. The name of this particular video, well, it's going to be two parts. The first part I'm going to say is in regard to one of the guys that's on YouTube. I call him the fake music observer, but he goes by the real music observer on YouTube, and he's a racist motherfucker. But that's neither here nor there. What I want to talk about is that, because he had mentioned, well, why they don't let Dean Castronovo back in Journey? And my thing is that they're not going to let him back in. They're not going to let him back in. He beat up his wife, and he's suffering from substance abuse. So when you got those two things going on, the last thing you want to do, especially in this era, is bring him back into the group, because you're going to have such a backlash. You know, people are going to be petitioning outside, get the drunk out of here, woman beater. And they, Neil and Jonathan are not going to deal with that. They are not going to deal with that. So basically, they can't let him back in the group. But that's not what this is going to be about. What I want to talk about basically is that I feel that Neil, and this is a Journey related video. This is going to be Journey related, but not about Dean. I feel that Neil and Jonathan should have just told Jeremy Hunsicker. And in case people don't recognize that name, Jeremy Hunsicker was a person that did Where Did I Lose Your Love? And he also did Never Walk Away. Did he do? No, I'm lying. He didn't do Where Did I Lose Your Love? I'm sorry. He just did Never Walk Away. So he did that song, and that's when Journey had got Arnel Pineda. And I felt that it was a good idea to get Arnel, because Arnel, not only he's a great singer, first of all. Now personally, I cannot get past his accent. His accent kind of bothers me a little bit. But as far as his singing ability, he's a great singer, and he appeals to a whole different market, which is the Asian market, which is huge, because what you have to remember is that out of 7 billion people on the planet, I think it's 4 billion. Yeah, 4 billion are Asian. Or is it 1 billion? No, 4 billion are Asian. So that's really something to think about. I think I'm right about that. But anyways, I digress. But basically, you know what I'm saying? He basically opens up a whole new market, because no one's never been to Manila to perform music and stuff like that on a scale like that. I mean, Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier fought there. But as far as somebody just saying, yo, let's go to the Philippines, let's go to Macau, let's go to Hong Kong, let's go all these places and perform. Japan, yeah, but not Philippines. So Arnel opened up a whole new market. And I think Arnel is suffering from what most singers suffer from. His voice is starting to fry a little bit. And what these singers need to do is that they need to go get vocal coaches. You need to go get a vocal coach, and you need to constantly do your vocal exercises, because if you don't, you're going to rip your voice up. I ripped up my voice a couple of times when I was in my 20s. I mean, it's back now because I don't sing as hard as I used to. But, with Jeremy Hunsicker, I think that what Neil and Jonathan should have done was take him in, because Hunsicker can do old Steve Perry and new Steve Perry. Like when Steve Perry got the growl in his voice and everything, he can do that. But he can also do 1977, 1978 Steve Perry as well. So I think they should have just got him. You know, I know he's a little chubby, and they should have just told him, look, lose about 20, 25 pounds, and then we can go on this tour. They should have just got him. Because I think that basically, especially the American public, the Arnel thing lasted for a little while, because it was like, oh, it was a shot in the dark, and we got him, and this and that. Okay. But now, with Jeremy, it would have hit the American people too, because like I said, and I'm not the only person, not saying that it's right or wrong, but most people can't get past Arnel's accent. And so once that goes down, it's like, nah, we can't really deal with him. But now he's huge in other places. Real huge. And like I said, as far as his singing ability, I'm not knocking that. I'm not even knocking his accent as far as anything else he does. But the problem is hearing Open Arms, hearing Be Good to Yourself. All these songs, when you listen to it and you like, oh. And that's just me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm sure not the only person, but that's how I feel about it. They should have went and got Jeremy Hunsicker and just went on tour. Now, Jeff Scott Soto, he's a baritone singer, even though he can reach those notes, but he's a baritone. What's the brother's name? Dean Castronovo. He would have been perfect, but like I said, he's carrying luggage, so they can't deal with him. Hugo Valenti. And Hugo Valenti, in case you don't know, he was part of a Journey cover group called Evolution. I think it's Evolution. And he's a good singer too, but he doesn't have Steve Perry's power at all. He even looks like Steve Perry, but he just doesn't have his power. So you couldn't have got him. And there's a couple of other cats. Kevin, what's his name? Kevin Kapchev? I forgot his name right now. But he was pretty good too. But he like in this high register, ooh. So basically, they decided just to do Arnel, because not only Arnel's a great singer, but it's a whole different market that they could go to and get money from, which was smart. And Greg Raleigh had said the same thing. He said it was smart that they got Arnel. That was a very smart move. But I think that as far as for the long haul, they should have went and got Jeremy Hunsicker. You know what I'm saying? Because he sounds the closest to Steve Perry. And those, oh, he's a Steve Perry clone. Well, Jonathan Cain, wouldn't you want that? Especially for, you know, they call the dirty dozens, like the hits. You would want somebody to sound like Steve Perry. I think you should have went and got him. Told him to lose a little weight. And just brought him in. Well, that's just how I feel about it. So that's part one. Part two is basically going to be about things I want to say as far as the supporting singer and the supporting musician. Because what happens is that a lot of times with those people, they feel that without them, the group wouldn't exist. And that is the most bullshit ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, if right now, and this happened before. I forgot the guy's name. I know Tommy Shaw. That's his name. If Tommy Shaw, and he left before, they still had a hit record with Show Me the Way. They still had a hit. Styx still had a hit. So what the supporting singer and the supporting musician has to understand is that they have a role to play. Play your role, no matter how better you are, how much better you are than the person that's doing the lead and the focal point. You could be a lot better. I had a person that was in my group that was better than me, but he wasn't the focal point. Anyhow, I'm going to continue part 2 on that video after I put this one up. Again, shout out to the almighty LDBC, A Weapons, Mid-Lyfe Music, TicketTVmedia.com. Peace.